Alright YouTube, what's going on? So we're out here today with the Techno NT48.3 and the modified Picco Boost 28. We're going to start giving it a tune. It's done 2 quarts of fuel on the break-in on the stand. Not the break-in stand. I need to get me one of those Huddy break-in stands. Did get my my engine warmer. It is a Dynamite. We returned the other one and got this one, which seems to work fine. The other one caught on fire immediately when I used it. Using a 3S. It's a little puffy, but a 3S LiPo ProTech RC to power it, and we're going to get it up to as close to 200 as we can. Fired up and start giving it a tune. I want to start running this. I've taken my time on it, breaking it in, getting the Techno all set up. I did order some new clutch shoes. I ordered 2 sets of Max Life for the Losi flywheel and clutch, which is my favorite, by the way. And I ordered a set of King heads. The King heads, I'm not sure if they'll fit on the Losi clutch or not, but I ordered them for my Techno clutch and flywheel, which is not a lightened flywheel. It is a just a regular steel flywheel, the one that comes in the kit. I want to get a lightened one, but I've got some other things I need to take care of first. So we'll be using the King heads and the Techno flywheel. I also ordered a lightened 48T spur gear for the Techno, and as soon as that gets in, we'll put it on. It's still the stock flywheel on here right now. We're running a 16 bell with 41032 and 9886. So let me get this thing heated up and fired up, and I'll get back to y'all here shortly. Also, a few shout outs. Shout out to Andrew. I got the LRP 32 and got the head button out, so we're ready to go on the .32 LRP. Appreciate you, bro. My end of the deal we'll do here in a week or so. I'll get with you and see exactly what you want. As y'all know, that LRP, the plug popped out of it. Now, some people say that I probably left it loose, and I could have, but I'm pretty OCD on that. I think, and I have read this many times online, where the plug has just come out on its own because of the poor quality of metals in the LRP. Now, we'll just go with the fact that maybe I left it loose, but it did strip out a couple of the threads. It's still tightened up, but it was just a matter of time until the rest of it stripped out. So thank you, Andrew. I really appreciate you. You are the main shout out today, brother. Shout out to Raja. I'm going to go over my buggy with you guys after talking to you on the phone, Raja, and I appreciate that conversation. I'm dialing in the buggy for the track. I tore it down, and I'll show you guys in a little while after we run this. I tore it completely down, redid all the diffs. I think I put 5.5 and 3, and we'll see how that works. I may switch to 5.7 and 3, but we'll go with the 5.5 and 3 for now. And I stood up my shocks, like you said, and adjusted my ride height to the millimeters that you suggested. The only thing that I'm not going to be using are the J Concepts reflex tires. My hobby shop owner Elliot said that you know, they're used to that track, so he's got a couple of different sets of tires that he's going to recommend for me. I'm actually going to buy a couple of pairs from him, used pairs that, you know, he's only used once or twice, just for practicing. Once I actually get around other people and start running on the track, you know, racing, not racing, but, you know, just getting out there with other people, I'll buy a new set of tires for it. But other than that, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and log off for a minute, get this thing fired up, and we'll start tuning it. So give me a few minutes and I'll get back to you guys. Alright guys, let's rip the Techno Got a pretty good tune going on. Just heated it up. Not going to be too hard on it. Try to stay out of the street as much as I can. I do have my other let her get nice and warmed up. I warmed her up to about 130 on the with the head warmer. Head warmer works good now. Modified Picco. They say Piccos are hard to tune, guys, but I'm going to try and get this to a single stage idle. I'm going to try and get all my Nitro engines properly tuned. No more 10 seconds. Pretty good right now. I don't want to run too much on the pavement with the Badlands. We got a rich tune right now. We just came off of the box, you know, break in. We'll keep her a little rich. Idling pretty good. Body came out all right. I'm gonna do another body for this one. You can see when I was cutting my lines, I messed up and I cut too far up. See how it's there and down? I cut the wrong line, but it's all right. There you have it, guys. Picco Modify, AMR, Power Secrets, lightened piston crank, and rod, lightened back plate, tune's not bad. Maybe I need to bring my idle up just a little bit. But you guys get the picture. I'm pretty much there. I'll work on it a little bit more. I don't want to dog on it, you know. So let's go in the barn. I want to show you guys a couple of things. Let's get this at bottom dead center. You know, I'm taking my time with this girl. Taking my time with her. We'll bring that idle up just a little bit. Other than that, it's pretty close. Alright, so you guys see right here where I went too high. I went too high on the when I cut my lines on the body. It's supposed to come down to here. And once I got halfway through, I noticed, I was like, crap. So I just went ahead and cut it off. I mean, you'll get a little dirt up in there, but you already got some grass there. So you're going to get grass in it anyway. And but I'll get another body for her made. I've got that other black and candy green one. You see how it's supposed to come down here. This is your main side, really, where you want to keep all your electronics and everything as clean as possible. But it's not bad. And I got the, you know, we're running the Sumo skid plates on there. I worked on my suspension a little bit, trying to get it right, because I will be taking this to the track, not necessarily with the modded Picco in it. I want to get some more track tires for this one. And again, shout out Raja. I enjoyed our conversation. You gave me some setups for the truggy as well, and I haven't quite gotten into that yet. I'm still working on the buggy. Let's go take a look at the buggy real quick. My daughter's car battery is messed up, so I'm charging it. I don't think it's all the way dead. It is taking a charge, but it was real sluggish this morning, and the weather's been kind of erratic with it being cold and stuff. I need to clean her engine. My engines, man, you can eat off these things, but I need to clean it up for her for real. But we'll check it out. We'll try and see. I pulled the you know, I fired it up, got her started, and I pulled the battery terminal off to check to see if the alternator was good, and it stayed running. You know, if you pull the battery terminal off the battery and it continues to run, then usually your alternator is good. But if it dies when you pull it off, that means that your alternator's bad and you've been running off your battery. So I think everything's good with the alternator. I think she may just need to get a new battery, but we'll check it out. It was in the red. It was in between the 4 and the 5, and we're all the way down to the 2. We'll see how much further it goes down. It's my old faithful, my father-in-law's Century dual range battery charger. But anyway, guys, let's go check out the buggy. Show you all what I got going on here. Again, shout out Andrew, man, you're the man. Appreciate what you did for me there, because that head button you cannot find anywhere in the world unless you buy another one or find some cool dude like you that you know. God, I need a vacuum in here. It's terrible. So all my boxes are good to go now. The Racer's Edge box that I use for my truggies is completely rebuilt and good to go. By the way, speaking of my daughter, man, I want to give her a shout out. Big shout out to Nicole. She didn't get me a birthday present. My birthday was on the 3rd, if y'all remember. But she gave me this one too. This is another Regis mod. And I had my own black one, but you know, I'm a mover, man. I have this thing in my hand all the time, and I put it through hell. So she gave me this one, and I got the cover for it. And yesterday when I got home from my trip to Dallas, we stayed right next door to AT&T Stadium in a hotel. We did an overnight job. We got good hours last week. I'm off today, but tomorrow we'll start the rest of the week, and then I leave for New Mexico next weekend, going to Las Cruces on, I think, a 5 or 6 day job. But anyway, she got me this new updated Regis, and it's a little smaller, and it's, I think it's either, maybe, I think it's a little thinner, but it feels smaller in my hand. So when I always have this, when I always have this with me, you know, it's easier for me to put in my pocket. She did order me a case for it as well. I could not survive without a case. I hope I don't break it until then. But shout out to my daughter, Nicole. Thank you so much. I love you, and I know your birthday's coming, 24th. So is my son's. My son and my daughter were both born on the same, not the same day, but the same date. So they're both Thanksgiving babies. But thank you, Nicole. I appreciate that. Alright, guys. So, here's the buggy. I took Rajah's recommendations. I went with 5, 5, and 3 on my diffs for now. I may go to 5, 7, and 3. And we'll go from there. But I redid the entire buggy, tore it all the way down, nuts and bolts. I redid the front and the rear shocks. I stood my shocks up like was suggested to me. Redid all my diffs. They're good. Only thing on the front diff, one of the screw holes was bad, so I'm going to have to probably get a new diff cup for it. But it's not leaking right now. Of course, I haven't run it since I rebuilt it. My center diff, if y'all remember, I redid that about a month ago. Everything brand new for the center diff. And the rear diff was good. I took it apart, cleaned it, and put 3K in there. So we're set up for racing. We are going back to the Novorossi P5. I don't know if I told y'all, but when I bent this last Monday at the track, you couldn't find this needle seat anywhere, man. It's on back order everywhere. But the Dynamite .28, believe it or not, the RTR engine is the exact same needle seat. So everything bolted up perfect. I have fired it up already. It runs perfect. It idles perfect. So if you guys need this needle seat for your P5, the Dynamite .28 RTR will work. Now the big red one won't work. All the others on there are all the other Novorossi carbs. They're too fat. This one has a skinny end on it. It's different than the others. I have, like my OS, it's a fat end on it too, but for some reason these are different. On these Novorossi 24040 is the part number for the .21 carburetors. I don't know about all of them, but on the P5 part number for this carb is 24040, and the carbs on the other ones, you got 24066, 24067, and I think there's another one, but they're totally different carbs. So here it is, Andrew. I got the LRP good to go, man. Thank you so much. We're gonna get it ripping. I may throw it in T-Baby's Hyper 7 and give it a rip. He should be coming up in the next week or two when I get back from Las Cruces. But I don't know, if I can come across parts, man, I might rebuild this one and send it back to you, Andrew, if I can find the parts that I need. So I noticed that when what happened, there's a chip in the top of the piston, and of course we need a head button now. Everything else looks pretty good. The conrod, the crankcase, you know, the crank. Everything else is good. I think we just need to find a piston and a head button and a back plate. But you guys, I don't know if you know this, the Dynamite back plate, this back plate right here, is a direct bolt up to the LRP. So I learned that from Mr. Bodegel in one of his videos. The back plates for the ZR30 and the ZR32 are very hard to come by. I do know where there is. Oh shit! I do know where there is one at my local hobby shop. But at this point, well, I may swing by and get it just to have it for this one. If we can find a piston and a head button, we could get that one rebuilt. But I bet by the time you did all that, you could probably just buy a new LRP. But I'm going to hold on to it just in case. You never know if I'm going to need the crank or something like that. But for any reason we do come across it, Andrew, I would be glad to rebuild it. And if you come across it, let me know. And we'll pick it up and we'll rebuild this and get it back to you. Other than that, Andrew, again, I appreciate it. And I will keep up with my end of the bargain. Just give me a couple of weeks, guy. And once I get back from all these out-of-town runs, and I'll get you something sent over to you for sure. So that's what's going on, guys. I think I'm going to get out here and keep tuning on the Picco. I've got it really close. I think I just need to bring my low speed up just a little bit, or maybe even my idle gap. Like I was watching some more videos on single stage idle, and I didn't really learn to do a single stage idle from Chili or the other dude that Don Foss was talking about. Forgive me, I don't mean anything bad by that, but I just can't remember right now. I learned from RCX, that dude that put out all these videos. I studied him for a long time. And there was another guy that I was studying a lot. It wasn't JT12. I'll remember and I'll let you guys know. They got some great videos on single stage idles, how to do a proper idle. But you know, shout out to Chili, man, and the other dude. Those were great videos as well. So anyway, shout out to my normals, family affair, man. It's a nice TRD. Back in 2000, I had a Toyota Tundra. I think it was the second year they made them. I think they started in '99. But I had a 2000, or maybe I had a 2001. I think it was the third year. It was a 2001 Toyota Tundra TRD. And that was one bad mamma jamma. So, shout out to you, brother. Shout out to the Muggy Maniac, man. You're alright in my book, man. You're still my brother, even though you give me a hard time. You know, we're all in this thing together, and the way I see it, you're our problem child for sure. And but you know, we need to try to all get along, regardless of, you know, if we agree to disagree or not. I think we should all try to get along, and you know, try to be a little more patient with people. Is the way I see it. But it's all good, man. We're all human beings. We all have feelings. Some of us wear our hearts on our sleeves. Some don't. They're just straight up bam bam. Me in particular, I care about people. And not that Muggy doesn't, but I just, you know, I put it out there. So you know, shout out Don Foss. I understand your feelings and how you feel about it, but you know, we all need to try and get along, man, is the way I see it. We're all God's children, and all the anger and animosities and bad blood between everybody is just not good. It's not good for anybody, man. I'd like nothing more than to see all of us in our little Nitro community get along with each other, even the Nitro nerd. But his videos are very entertaining, you know, but shout out to the nerd, man. I learned a lot of stuff from the nerd as well. But alright, guys, I think that's going to be it. If I can get this thing dialed in a little more. I don't want to run it too hard right away. I'd like it to last a little bit, you know. But once I get some more fuel through there, then we'll get it out to the soccer field and do some real ripping on it. Open her up. But I definitely can tell, even now running Rich, I can tell the difference between a modded and a stock engine. I mean, I haven't opened it up yet, and I still get thrills from stock engines, you know. Even the P5, man, it's got a lot of grunt, man. I get a lot. I get a lot out of the 21s. I love all the nitros. It's, yeah, modified is badder asser, but I mean, I like them all. Shit, they all give me a thrill. I think that in itself is a quality of a true nitro head, gearhead. You know, I may not put it out there a lot, and you may not call me a gearhead, but there's really nothing that I can't do, man. I've always done all the work on my own automobiles. Very rarely do I pay somebody to do something. Even that BMW, man, I probably could have done that valve cover gasket, but I just didn't want to mess with it, man, not with work and all that. But I've always repaired everything. I've done everything. I helped my son and take I'm gonna tell you a story, man. I bought my son a Honda Civic back around, I don't know, 2005, 2006, something like that. And he put it through hell, man, because he didn't pay for it. I paid for it. And he just beat the hell out of it. And I get it, man, he's a kid. But when it didn't run anymore and it was all in pieces in the garage, I was like, well, what are we going to do now? And he ran across another Honda with a blown motor. And I said, I'll tell you what, I'll buy it for you. It's $1,200, but you're going to pay, and you're going to swap the engine from that Honda to that Honda, engine and transmission. And I figured, man, it'd take him about a month or so, or maybe even longer. The night we brought it home, myself, him, and his buddies, we transferred that motor over. We did everything, had that car running the next day. So my point is, man, I've always had old trucks, old Fords, at 68 F100, you know, straight six, like a tractor engine in that thing. But there ain't nothing that I can't do mechanically. So you don't have to call me a gearhead, but I definitely have oil running through my blood, man. I've never paid anybody to do oil changes. I've never paid anybody to do brakes. I've done brakes on all my vehicles, including the newer vehicles. You know, I've done brakes on my Honda, did brakes on my my Trans Am when I had it. I used to have a 2000 Trans Am. Hell, I did work on my Harley Davidson when I had it. So I don't know if that's not a gearhead. I don't know what is. But anyway, guys, I get a thrill out of it too. It's just sometimes I don't have time for it, and just don't feel like doing it, so I pay somebody. By the way, the BMW is back over there. It was not the valve cover gasket. Those BMWs have plastic valve covers, and it had a hairline crack. So I'm hoping and knowing that the mechanic is not going to double charge me to do that work. I told him I'll pay for the valve cover, but I'm not paying you again to do all the labor and to replace, because when you pull it off, you have to take the fuel rail off, and once you break that seal, usually you can't get it back on, so you have to replace the fuel rail as well. So fuel rail, valve cover gasket, labor, all that I'm not paying for twice. Hell no. So hopefully we'll get the Beamer back pretty soon. But anyway, guys, I'm just going off into some other stuff. Shout out to those guys. Shout out Elliot for getting me the head warmer. I really appreciate you, guy, and I'll touch base with you when I can pick up those other track tires from you. I'd like to get a couple of sets from you. And then later on, once I get a little bit better and stuff and learn. I wanted to get out there today, guys, but I stayed up until 5 a.m. this morning rebuilding this thing, thinking, okay, I'm going to sleep for a couple hours, then I'm going to go out there to the track. But I ended up sleeping until about 9:30, and when I got up, I was just like, man, I'm too tired, so I didn't want to get out there, you know, with not enough rest and jack some stuff up. So probably after I get back from my trip, we'll get back out there and you know, continue our journey onto 1/8 scale nitro racing. I'm excited about it, and once I put my mind to something and tell myself I'm going to do it, then I do it. That's why y'all saw me out there last week. I'm not going to tell you guys something then not follow through. So, but now I'm just like, God, I should go out there right now. But I got to drive an hour into town to do it. It's already getting late. So we're just ripping on the Picco. Also, we'll get out the 8T is ready to go. Everything's good. Clutch bell. It's got a brand new clutch. I've got some new Max Lifes coming, and the King Head's coming for the Techno. Also, Gearhead, if you're going to do the upgrades and do the 4.0 or 3.0 diffs, you can interchange those two. 4.0. I've got 3.0 in the front, 4.0, 4.0. So RC Waffle usually has the entire unit. Sometimes they're brand new, sometimes they're used. Nitro House is the place you want to go for the turnbuckles, and I'll tell you, there's two sets. You have the 107 millimeter and the 108 millimeter in the front, and then the 108 millimeter in the rear. So if you need any help trying to figure that stuff out, not that you may not already know what to do, I've done it on this one. So if you need any help, just give me a shout out. You've got my email address, Mr. Trevor. So if I can help you in any way, just let me know, because I've already done it on this one. So, alright guys, that's going to be it, man. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I saw I'm over 500 on my subs, so shout out to you guys out there that are getting down with my channel. I appreciate y'all. And shout out Eastside. Thanks for the Sunday service yesterday, last evening. That was awesome. Don't tear up that rental car. Shout out Mr. Bodegel, and shout out to my racing brother for life, Raja 111. Thank you, Vaughn, man. I appreciate that. And once I get out on the track and try out these setups, also the ride height, I did that as well. So once I try that on the track, I'll get back with you. I'll give you a call, and we can talk about it. So, all right, guys. I think that's going to be about it. We will see y'all in the next video, man. Take care.